The reason why, I wanted to talk about this gun stuff today too is this story of a 5-year-old in Kentucky. Now, apparently, this is just sort of the way it is in Kentucky, according to the AP. This is what we're led to believe, that all the 5-year-olds, all the kindergartners, all the 4-year-olds, they get their first gun when they're 4 because it's part of their tradition.
Right.
To learn to hunt when they're 4. Now, I have a 7.5-year-old, and I don't know at what point in her development that we gave her a sharp knife to eat at the dinner table, okay? Where presumably we have some. But, these kids,
yeah, when I
they
saw
don't
that picture
necessarily
of her in Gun World
know.
magazine, I was a little bit shocked, Sam, you let her do that spread.
Well, I mean, like my daughter was still until, and now she's starting to go, we went to a funeral, but she didn't even understand the concept of death. Okay? Like she would say like, "You're killing me. I'm dying." Like they don't understand certain concepts at age 6, as far as I know.
Kid
I don't
says
think
stuff like that. My 6-year-old says stuff like that all the time.
Okay.
So you definitely want to give someone like that a gun.
So the story is, this is a horrible story. On Tuesday, this 5-year-old boy playing with a rifle he was given last year, his mother stepped out onto the front porch while cleaning the kitchen.
Because what could be wrong? What could go wrong there?
She heard the gun go off. The boy had killed his 2-year-old sister, Caroline, with a single shot to the chest. The rifle was kept in a corner of the mobile home, and the family didn't realize a bullet had been left in it. You can only put one bullet in these cricket rifles, so it was still loaded. They had just forgotten about it. They leave the gun in the corner because this is just a tradition. Right. In apparently in Kentucky. Now, I want to say a couple of things about this. One is I've seen the news reports on this, and everyone makes a very conscious decision to say, I'm not going to discuss or indict the parents for this. This is a tragedy. We're going to talk about the gun sellers.
No, I'm indicting the parents.
And I'm going to say that if this mother had been African American and had left her son in a car while she went into the grocery store with the window rolled down and that boy died of heat stroke, we would hear about how the black community does not take care of their children. This would go on. This would be on for hour after hour after hour. These parents should be in jail right now. That 5-year-old kid's, never mind the 2-year-old is dead. That 5-year-old kid's life is ruined.
This is putting a cigarette in your kid's mouth, feeding your kids booze, like via funnel. This is the thing, and I don't mean to cut you, but this is what I go off on, and I just sort of lose it about, and just drives me crazy all the time. Guns are the only product not regulated by the Consumer Product Safety Commission. Okay, guns. We basically, 2 kids die a year, with some sort of a car seat, and we pull that car seat and have a new one. Guns have been this total exception to what rules virtually every other area of our society, where we're just supposed to, as you just said with these parents, look the other way and whistle when it happens, because it just happens. It's just a part of our culture, and that is why I always say the legal, what we do legally, background checks, getting rid of assault weapons, the rest is so important. But really, what is just as important, and no one's doing this right now, and maybe there's an invitation, anybody listening who feels like they could contribute to this, we need PSAs out there. We need gun locks. We need PSAs. We need, I'm sorry if this is insulting your culture, but again, people don't think that way in Maine. They don't think that way. And again, I'm not indicting all Kentuckians or all Mississippians or whatever, but there is this Confederate, and I'll just call it what it is, counterculture that hates our government and think guns are an identity issue, as you pointed out, where, it's just a big F you to the damn liberals and the government and the minorities and whatever, having our guns, and not being safe with them and treating them like toys. They are not freaking toys.
Hey, if you are a Christian Scientist and you do not give your kid medical treatment when that kid is in an acute emergency state, you can be brought in on manslaughter.
Right.
And so the idea that this is an offense, the idea that somehow you're offending our culture of gun ownership for 5-year-olds, This is just absurd. Those parents should be in jail right now.
I mean,
and they might as well take that 5-year-old kid and hand him his first dose of meth.
And for a
Because
while,
that kid's
our
life
culture,
is
our culture
ruined.
our culture counted slavery and segregation for a while too, not allowing women to vote. We've had all sorts of things in our culture that our culture is allowed to happen. And I'm sorry, I'm not equating gun ownership with that. I am, however, equating unsafe gun ownership with that. I am equating people who treat guns like toys, leave them around kids. I mean, I'm sure you've had David Waldman on this show before, Cagro X, who has, after Newtown started this series Gun Fail, and he never, no pun intended, fails every week to have numerous cases of things like this. Kids shooting kids, parents shooting kids, people cleaning their guns and forgetting there's a bullet in them. I mean, we take these people that we've determined in society are too immature, stupid, whatever you say, to do a lot of other things, but they all have the right to do whatever they want with a gun, and we won't judge them for it.